Hello everybody. How you doing? What's going on? It's your girl Tiffany French coming through live in effect. So today I want to deal with a topic about Will Mercer Cook. So Mercer Cook was an African American diplomat and he was also a professor. So we're going to get into his history and his story. But I want to say this. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel and sharing the videos. I really appreciate that. That really means a lot to me. Now, let's go ahead and get started on today's history. All right. So this is Mr. William Mercer Cook. I'm sorry. This is him. All right. And so let's check out his biography. Alrighty. So here it is. Will Mercer Cook. He was born on March 30th, 1903, and he died October the 4th of 1987. Popularly known as Mercer Cook, was an African-American diplomat and professor. He was the first American ambassador to the Gambia after it became independent. Appointed in 1965, while also still serving as ambassador to Senegal. He was also the second American ambassador to Niger. So, have you noticed? He was the American ambassador to 3 countries in West Africa. Yeah. He became an ambassador to 3 countries in West Africa. That's Gambia, right? That's Senegal, and that's the Niger. But let's see what else we can find. All right. So let's look at his biography. William Mercer Cook was born on March 30th, 1903 in Washington, D.C. to Will Marion Cook, a famous composer of musical theater, and Abby Mitchell Cook, a soprano singer. Okay. She became best known for playing the role of Clara in the premiere production of George Gershwin's Porgy and Bess. Cook's sister and only sibling was born Marion Abigail Cook in 1900. As a child, Cook traveled extensively in the United States and Europe with his parents as they pursued their respective careers in the entertainment industry. They placed their daughter to be raised by family because of their performance schedules. In Washington, D.C., the Cook family lived across the street from the legendary jazz musician Duke Ellington. Cook attended Dunbar High School in Washington, D.C., a predominantly Black academic school. He graduated from Amherst College with a bachelor's degree in 1925 and went to Paris for further study. He received his teacher's diploma from the University of Paris in 1926. After his return in 1929, Cook married Vashti Smith, a social worker. The couple had 2 sons named Mercer and Jacques. Cook earned a master's degree in French from Brown University in 1931 and a doctorate in 1936. He returned to Paris in 1934 on a fellowship from the General Education Board. While completing his graduate education, Cook worked as an assistant professor of Romance languages at Howard University from 1927 until 1936. Upon completing his doctorate, Cook became a professor of French at Atlanta University, serving from 1936 until 1943. During that time, he received a Rosenwald Fellowship to study in Paris and the French West Indies. In 1942, he received another General Education Board Fellowship to the University of Havana. From 1943 to 19 1945, Cook worked as a professor of English at the University of Haiti. During this time, he wrote the Handbook for Haitian Teachers of English. He also wrote the literary criticism titled Five French Negro Authors and edited an anthology of Haitian readings. After 2 years in Haiti, Cook returned to Washington, D.C. to work as a professor of Romance languages at Howard University, where he stayed until 1960. During this time, Cook continued to write about Haiti, and he also translated works of African and West Indian writers from French to English. Most notably, in 1959, Cook translated the work of Leopold Senghor, who was a former president of Senegal and an established French author. Now, I must say that is brilliant. That's brilliant because he got a chance to go out and go to Paris, earn a degree in French, right? A doctorate degree, teaching French at Atlanta University, and going to Haiti, teaching English, and also translating books into the French language. So this man had a brilliant mind. So, Black people, we got to learn how to utilize our skills. We got to apply those intelligence. And that's what he did. He applied his intelligence by working with those in the diaspora. But let's go to his life when he was an ambassador. Okay. All right. So let's look at the ambassadorship. Cook became active in international relations in the late 1950s. From 1958 to 1960, he served as a foreign representative for the American Society of African Culture. The following year, he worked as a director of the African program for the Congress of Cultural Freedom. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy appointed Cook as the U.S. ambassador to Niger. Niger was a French colony that had independence in 1960. Cook's duty as an ambassador include overseeing U.S. economic aid programs in the country, administering the Peace Corps, and supervising U.S. information and cultural activities in the country. His wife was also involved in many social programs, including a project to distribute medical supplies across the country and participation in women's group. All right. In 1963, Cook was also designated as an alternate delegate to the General Assembly of the United Nations. He served as the United States ambassador to Niger until 1964. In 1966, Cook returned to Howard University to become head of the Department of Romance Languages. He worked as a visiting professor at Harvard University in 1969. And in 1969, Cook published The Militant Black Writer in Africa and the United States, co-authored with Stephen Henderson of Morehouse College. The book consists of expanded version of speeches delivered by two men at a 1968 conference in Madison, Wisconsin, called Anger and Beyond, The Black Writer and a World in Revolution. In his essay, Cook described a half-century tradition of protest among African poets and novelists. Cook concluded in his essay by stating, in the main statements by the Africans seem to me less extreme and violent than many by West Indian and North American blacks. Cook retired from academia in 1970. He continued to write and publish professionally in the 1970s. Cook died of pneumonia in Washington, D.C. on October the 4th of 1987. All right, so here are his awards. The John W. Simpson Fellowship, 1925 to 26. General Education Board Fellowship, 1934 to 1942. Roswell Fellowship, 1938. And received decorations from the government of Haiti, that was in 45, the Republic of Niger in 1964, and Senegal in 1966. Plames Academiques France Amherst College, 1965, and also received his LLD in Brown University in 1970. All right. So this is the list of membership that he was a part of. Okay. He was a part of the Association of the Study of the Negro Life and History, which was founded by Carter G. Woodson. All right. American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publisher. American Association of Teachers of French. Académie des Sciences Morales et Politiques. All right, that's French. I guess that stands for the Academics of Science, Moral, and Politics, or Politics and Morals. National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. The Phi Beta Kappa Omega Psi Phi. So, yep, that's his memberships. And here's the references if you want to look out more information. Okay. So it gives you the list of the diplomatic posts that he did. All right. So, yep. Okay. So let me see if I can find one of the books they authored. The military, the militant black writer in Africa in the United States. Okay, let me look at the militant. Give me a second. So, anyways, though, that'll be all for today. Okay. So I thank you guys for watching. I thank you all for tuning in, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please continue with the subscription and make sure you hit the notification bell when I come on. And there's some people that want to do videos. If you're interested and you want me on the platform, please just reach out to me. It's best to reach out to me on Facebook, right? Just hit Tiffany L. French and hit me on the messenger on Facebook, or I can give you my email. But yeah, that's the best time to get me on Facebook, and then I can make the arrangement to come on others platforms and do, interviews or have discussions or whatever the case may be. All right. But till then, you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon, and you take it easy on yourself. Okay. May peace and power elevation be to all of you. And it's your girl Tiffany, and I'm out. Peace.